500 up for John Wilkin as Toronto aim to make it 10 victories in a row here at Haywood Road. The Wolfpack have racked up over 50 points in each of their clashes with Swinton so far, extend that winning sequence here, and Brian McDermott's men will restore their 6-point cushion at the top of the Betfred Championship. Swinton, though, seek a hat-trick of successive championship wins, something the Lions haven't achieved in over 3 years. Toulouse's victory at York 24 hours ago put them within 4 of the leaders as things stand, but if Swinton can upset the favourites, they'd move into 10th above Dewsbury with a 5-point cushion over the drop zone. Let's have a look at the way these two teams check out then, and Matty Ashton is the fullback for Swinton. Mike Butt makes his 100th Lions appearance. Then it's Rodri Lloyd, Liam Paisley and Richard Lapori on debut. Halfbacks Jack Hansen alongside Rob Fairclough. The front row consists of Gavin Benyon, Luke Waterworth the hooker and Lewis Hatton. It's Jack Wells alongside Adam Jones in the second row, and Paddy Jones is the loose forward. On the substitutes bench for Swinton, Kyle Shelford, Billy Brickhill, Jose Kenga and Sammy Kabula. Toronto Wolfpack have Blake Wallace at fullback. There's no Gareth O'Brien this afternoon. And it's Nick Rawsthorne, Chase Stanley, Ricky Latelli and Liam Kay, who needs 1 try for 150 in his career. Joe Mellor moves in at standoff alongside the skipper, Josh McCrone. The front row, Tom Olberson, Bob Bezic and Anthony Mullally. There's 2 milestones in the second row. Andrew Dixon makes the 200th appearance of his career alongside Bodine Thompson. And John Wilkin makes his 500th career appearance. On the substitutes bench for Brian McDermott, Adam Sidlow, Andy Ackers, Greg Worthington, it's his first involvement of the season, and Ryan Briley. Difficult conditions here at Haywood Road. The crowd obviously looking forward to this one. Conditions are damp, it's going to be a greasy ball, you would think. But the pedigree, all with Toronto Wolfpack. I mentioned, Barry, that Swinton have conceded 50 points in each of their 3 clashes with Toronto so far. That just illustrates the depth of the task ahead of them here.
Well, Toronto are the best team in attack, the skinniest in defence, and to illustrate that, they're scoring on average 35 points and on average only conceding 14, so they're pretty good both sides of the ball. But the one thing that I'm sure when the Swinton players woke up, looked out of their bedroom windows this morning, one thing they looked at are the conditions. It's wet, the ball will be greasy. I feel it will play into the hands of the Swinton Lions, who have absolutely nothing to lose, and they've done a remarkable job selling this game to the wider Manchester community. Swinton Lions are a Manchester club. They've sold this game on that basis, and the Canadian fans always get behind this Toronto side. But for the Swinton side, those halfbacks that they've got, Jack Hansen, very industrious player, and Rob Fairclough, just keep a close eye on those 2 players. Hansen wearing 1, Fairclough wearing 7. Fairclough, a cheeky character, brave character, courageous runner of the ball, but what he's got is he's got a really good input and involvement on this side, and he'll steer them around the pitch. We have to take this opportunity to pay credit to John Wilkin. 500 first-class, top-grade rugby league games is a phenomenal effort from a fierce competitor. And while the Swinton players, they'll look at this game and they'll try and seize the opportunity. They know that the conditions probably will work in their favour, and Rodri Lloyd, the captain, one to watch out for. Brian McDermott, under the cover, away from the rain. He'll want to see what his side have got and how they'll match up to the Swinton Lions.
Greg Dolan is the referee for this one. McDermott's first game in Toronto was that 52-10 win over Swinton 6 weeks ago. 8 different try scorers in front of a record championship crowd of over 9,500. And there is John Wilkin, the 500 man. 14 appearances for Toronto, 424 for St Helens. Magnificent servant there, of course. 39 in the colours of Hull Kingston Rovers, 16 for England, and 6 Great Britain caps as well. Done it all in rugby league, John Wilkin. Super League title back in 2006, 4-time Challenge Cup winner as well. He's won finals with St Helens at Old Trafford, at Wembley, at Twickenham, and in Cardiff. Big day for him, and it's Swinton the shape of Jack Hansen, who get this one underway. Immediately the ball causing problems. It's a really good kick-off, and Swinton have come up with it in the shape of Lewis Hatton.
Well, an unusual kick-off there. You would expect Toronto to field that kick, but Swinton trying the unorthodox.
Gavin Benyon spinning into the tackle. All hands on deck in defence. First up for Toronto. So close to that Wolfpack line. This would be a great start for the Swinton Lions and Stuart Littler. Ashton holds on. He had options to the left. Shut down in the end by Josh McCrone and by Ricky Latelli.
Mark is not square.
Rodri Lloyd gets the pass away. Turned back by Fairclough.
4. Move.
Lewis Hatton switched to Swinton this year after a couple of seasons at Rochdale. Capped
5.
under the Toronto posts.
10 Gordon, hold.
It's Paddy Jones. Waterworth, look one way, came back the other. There could be something here. And the kick comes in and it's... Has it been grounded? Fairclough follows up and grounds it, but Greg Dolan says knock on.
Yeah, what a shame for Rodri Lloyd, such an important player. There's a very strong Wigan connection throughout this throughout this Swinton team. I make it around about half a dozen players that have spent time with the Wigan club. Rodri Lloyd, the Welsh international. Well, last year he won the Players' Player of the Year, Coaches' Player of the Year, and Players' Player of the Year. So he's a well-favoured option for them when they're attacking.
Here is Dixon on his 200th career appearance. Under the tackle of Waterworth. Bezic got the ball away to Wilkin. Here is Mullally. Benyon fronts up in defence. 3 tacklers in there. Wilkin. That was Mellor. And now Bodine Thompson raiding on that left-hand side, and they go there again. Nice from Joe Mellor. Some speed from him. Decent play of the ball as well, and now Toronto in a really good position. And it's the kick from Ricky Latelli. It's going to be too long, though.
Too strong, too much weight on that kick, but a nice set of 6 by both teams. Opening set by Toronto. We've already seen that they're prepared to throw this ball around. What you can't do is you can't play with one-out carries, because the defence on both sides will just find that far too easy. So it means that when you're passing the ball, do it early, do it away from the line, otherwise you put pressure on the receiver. Good carry from Rodri Lloyd.
Hold. Wait for it, guys. Go.
It was chased with the tackle. Stanley.
3.
Halfway now, the Swinton Lions. Waterworth. It's the ball away to Hansen, under pressure there. He managed to get the kick away. That was difficult enough in itself, and that's a really good take from Blake Wallace in his first test. We're so used to see Gareth O'Brien so composed under the high ball, and Blake Wallace takes a leaf out of his copybook there.
It will be interesting to see how the Toronto team play with an unfamiliar full-back. He's played there, of course, before Blake Wallace, but not since 2018, so albeit that 6, 7 and 1, the 2 half-backs and the full-back are somewhat interchangeable. It'll be a different role for Wallace.
Ricky Latelli proving difficult to put down. Another man here, Andrew Dixon, who goes to ground. Bezic, no room for him. Shut down really well there by Jones. Wilkin.
Anthony, give time.
Mellor under pressure. That's well taken too. This chase is good though, led by Wilkin.
Move.
Well took again. Matty Ashton, he's a big threat with the ball, loves a try, scored 10 tries in his last 5 games. The Swinton fullback.
8 tries in the first 5 in the championship, 13 for the season, a key strike weapon for Swinton. Bezic with the tackle alongside Wilkin here.
Release, that's okay. Outside, it's outside.
Room for the kick. It's just going to hold up. More work for Blake Wallace.
It's a lovely kick, kept it in the field of play, but what footwork from Blake Wallace.
Left foot Fairclough for dead there.
Yeah, beautiful step, beat the defender, and Liam Kay will look to progress this set of 6 forward.
This is Wilkin to Paddy Jones tackle.
Move! Hold.
Scanning. It's possession now, gives it to McCrone. Here is Dixon. And Dixon for the first couple. Oh, he just clings on.
I think Toronto were lucky then. I felt like John Wilkin had dropped that ball, and there's a forward pass. The rugby gods, sometimes they have their own justice. I felt that when John Wilkin carried that ball forward, and on the very rare occasion he got tackled and he had to play the ball, I felt like he'd lost grip of it. But further on in the set of 6, there's a forward pass. And for me, rightly, Swinton get the ball back. There he is, John Wilkin. The amount of times he touches the ball, when he carries it forward, he's under pressure from defenders and Swinton defenders. And those Swinton players all got up, appealing for that knock-on as well.
Jack Wells with some good pressure there. And
there is a knock-on, yeah.
Look at the reaction from Anthony Mullally as well.
Yeah, he gets a rare start, Anthony Mullally. Usually comes on off the bench and tries to lift his teammates 10, 15, 20 minutes into the match, but he gets a start, he hits the ball, controls and wrestles the player to the ground, and there you see quite clearly Gavin Benyon. Another top performer by the Swinton Lions, got the player of the month this month. He's got a big job in front of him, the big number 8 for Swinton.
Ireland against Wales in that clash. Mullally wins possession back for the Swinton Lions. Here is Bodine Thompson. Closing in on this Swinton line again. Bezic, Olberson. Takes the tackle from Benyon. Paddy Jones in there as well, and Lewis Hatton.
Held! Release! 3. Go.
Bezic for Wilkin.
It's on the
Joe Mellor who ducks under one, and it's Lewis Hatton who clings onto the legs there. Couple of tackles left though, and Bezic for Wilkin. Ran out of runners. Came back for Joe Mellor. Lost their way a little bit. Hansen comes up with the tackle. Last chance for the Wolfpack. Just 10 metres away. Josh McCrone goes aerial. Lifts that kick. It's going to be a tester, and it's spilled, and Mullally has touched the ball down, but there's been a knock-on. Came from a Toronto hand, I think.
Good enterprise, wasn't it? He kicked back to the short side. Looked like he was going to go to the long side, but there he is. He leaps higher, Nick Rawsthorne gets above everybody else in the Swinton colours, but it went forward. And Anthony Mullally denied by the referee. Hard work needed here for Swinton Lions. Get away from their own line, and those metres, valuable metres, will be hard to come by. But that's a wonderful offload.
The offload will certainly help, but look at the reaction from Dixon. McCrone in there as well. For the Wolfpack, they just want to pen them in. Matty Ashton with nowhere to go. Olberson puts the shoulder in. Ball comes free, and it is a knock-on, says Greg Dolan. That Toronto pressure pays off.
Adam Jones, the latest Swinton player involved in a tackle. Stuart Littler, the coach. I think you can be too hard on your players sometimes. The coach will say, look boys, let's look after that possession. He will accept that conditions are difficult. In order for his side to have a good chance in this game, they need to make the most of their possession.
That's Mellor, Bodine Thompson, Wallace. Locked up initially there, good work from Liam Paisley. And 3 more come in to assist him.
Another one of those Wigan players, Jack Wells at the side of him as well.
Bodine Thompson now. Mellor directing operations. Gets the ball from Bezic. Here is the former witness man, gives it to McCrone. And that's Wallace on the overlap. They could be in here, Liam Kay! He goes in, but it's a forward pass. He thought there for a moment it was going to be 150 in his career. It's not just yet, though.
The passing accuracy on that occasion, he just floats it into the path of the winger, but he held his shape well, Mike Butt, the number 2 for Swinton. Didn't drift out. If he'd have drifted out too soon, that could have been the first try of the afternoon. Swinton managing to hold out by hook or by crook. They're making it that messy and that awkward that there's a couple of forward passes.
Hold!
Jack Wells plays the ball for Swinton. Spent the majority of this opening 10 minutes or so in their own half. That was Liam Paisley. Waterworth gets that ball away for Hansen.
Nice movement there. Both half-backs involved. Fairclough and Hansen. Easy passes into the path of those Swinton players, and that's a good kick off the back of it. They'll become more and more involved, the players that we talked about before the kick-off. Hansen and Fairclough. Paisley involved in that tackle.
Decent return from Nick Rawsthorne. Toronto penalty will just allow them easy meters upfield, and another examination coming up with this Swinton line, you feel?
Easy is the word as well. I make it 3 times now, 2 knock-ons while they've had possession, and then just that small element of ill discipline. Get back on side. If you sacrifice a fraction of a second, it'll probably save you in the energy stakes later on.
Mala finds Mullally. Patton among the tacklers for Swinton. 30 metres away as Olberson cruises onto that ball. Paddy Jones over the top. Patton downstairs. Bezic now. Wilkin back the other way. McCrone. And now it's Wallace. 4 in the tackle for Swinton. The big gaps elsewhere if you can shift the ball quickly. Chase Stanley. McCrone. Mella back on the inside for Bezic. Bezic spinning, he's got away from the first one. He's still going, Bob Bezic. 5 metres away now from the Swinton line. Here is McCrone, puts a really nice chip in, and Dixon is first to it. Andrew Dixon gets there, and he does get the first try for Toronto Wolfpack. Andrew Dixon on his 200th career appearance, 10 tries in the last 10 matches now. A key strike weapon for Brian McDermott and the Toronto Wolfpack.
Well, that looked like a simple try, didn't it, from Toronto? Nice hands, a delicate little chip by Blake Wallace just behind the defensive line of Swinton. You can see all the defenders coming up, and he just places it in the in goal, and he's too good at his job, Andrew Dixon, to fail on that. But I've got to go back to those 2 drop balls when they had possession. The ill discipline or lack of focus, lack of attention to detail when they didn't get back on side, didn't go on the whir of the whistle from the referee, and that will hurt them severely, Swinton. Possession is key, and in wet weather, field position is key as well.
Got a try against Swinton in his opening home game. Andrew Dixon now strikes at Haywood Road. Blake Wallace with the kicking responsibilities. "13 minutes gone. Toronto have unlocked the Swinton defence for the first time. And 2 more points follow from Blake Wallace. And the Wolfpack lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, Stuart Littler just getting a few messages, a little bit of feedback down to his players on the field. But you can see that Toronto, they like this side. We've seen them 4, possibly 5 occasions, either with passing plays or on that occasion a nice little kick behind the line. They're looking at the edge defenders on this side, Rodri Lloyd being one of them, as a little bit vulnerable.
Good take under pressure there from Chase Stanley. Here is Liam Kay now. Good acceleration to evade the first tackle. Couldn't get through Butt or Adam Jones. Here now Mullally. Paddy Jones with that tackle.
Bennion up quick, the number 8 for Swinton. Flew up, but unfortunately he was on his own. Needs to drag somebody with him. He's had a good start to the game, you know. He doesn't play a lot in the front row, Tom Olberson, but watch the occasions. He's involved in a wrestle, but still finds his front.
Mella. That was Bezic, and now McCrone.
Another test for the young fullback. They work really well together, that back division, don't they? Ashton, Lapore, there he is at acting half-back, feeding it on to his opposite winger, Mike Butt. Another top performer for Swinton.
Well, Ali made that tackle. Scampering run then. Lepori, who played the ball. Rodri Lloyd now. Bezic gets to him. Fairclough with the kick. Wallace is going to return this one himself. Do have support and gives it to Kay. And Kay is away. Liam Kay, a great line there. Right through that Swinton cover.
That was absolutely super work, wasn't it, between winger and fullback.
Mellor tells Bodie and Thompson to come back the other way, and that's exactly what happens.
It's too quick now for Swinton, this. Far too quick.
Hold.
Just need to hold on here, Swinton. Toronto looking for back-to-back tries. Albison in the engine room. Jack Wells with the tackle, still going. Great meters after contact. Good play the ball as well. Here is Bezic, and now Mullally. Dumps the ball back for Albison, and Albison fancies it. Camped under the Swinton post again. Back from Bezic. Wilkins going to try one. Still going, John Wilkin, but wrapped up really well there. Jack Hansen involved. So desperate for a try to mark this landmark appearance. John Wilkin almost got one there.
Smart work from Swinton. They didn't get into a wrestle. Took him over the sideline.
Last one then. Last chance. Wallace, that's Dixon. Kick comes in. It's taken by Matty Ashton. Apologies if you heard anything on the ref's microphone there from the players. Obviously, tension's running high here.
Here's the run from Liam Kay. Beautiful link-up between Wallace and Kay. He accepted 20, 30, 40 metres, and here's John Wilkin. Gets over the try line. He's held up by Swinton, and this is a beautiful kick, isn't it? There was a call from the Swinton players for a forward pass, but that's class on the edge by Chase Stanley.
Albison then to run it back, meets Benyon. Fire with fire there. Bezic, Wilkin, Thompson. Again, apologies for any language you might have picked up on the referee's mic, as Toronto continue here, and Wallace gets it away to Stanley and bounces over the top. Liam Kay comes back into zero tackle. So Toronto have all the tackles in the bank here, and all the advantage. They're only 5 metres away from the Swinton line. Desperate defence from the Lions. They need to hold on, but this is relentless pressure from Brian McDermott's Toronto Wolfpack. Ricky Letelli, and Letelli has gone in. It's 2 tries in 6 minutes for Toronto Wolfpack. Andrew Dixon followed over the line by Ricky Letelli. His 9th of the season. He's going to try on his home debut against Swinton back in April. It's 4 tries in the last 5 now for the Samoan international.
Well, only a couple of moments ago we talked about field position, we talked about possession. There's where Swinton touched the ball, giving more tackles in the bag for Toronto. Ultimately, they didn't need it. The defence that Swinton had put in, there's a big handoff by Letelli on Liam Paisley. Jack Wells goes up, holds his line. Hansen goes up, and he's always grasping and reaching. Paisley, and unfortunately for Swinton, they'd done too much defending. The ruck speed was too quick. Field position, possession, and the weight of possession after doubling up on that effort by Chase Stanley's kick, and then the dropout that followed. Good work, good build-up from Toronto.
Blake Wallace from the sideline, looking for 2 from 2. It's a whisker away, but Toronto in double figures. The Wolfpack ahead now by 10 points to 0.
Well, it is good play from Toronto. They're being handed the ball and helped with that ruck speed, but there will be a gulf in class if the weight of possession is in favour of Toronto. If Swinton can get equal possession, they can find that field position in wet conditions, they'll give themselves a chance. 10-0 on the scoreboard, but you feel for about, probably 6 minutes, Swinton did nothing but defend.
Difficult in these heavy conditions as Wallace collects a restart. Here is Albison. Paisley Wells
Marking up
in
square.
combination.
Okay.
Bezic gets away from the couple.
Beautiful work from Bezic, such a smart operator. The decisions he makes, when to go, when to hold, and the service in delivery is top class.
Already Toronto Wolfpack over halfway in the shape of Bodine Thompson. Plays it for Bezic. Here is Wilkin. Now Mullally. Takes Waterworth with him.
Shift from Mullally. First start for him, for Toronto. Last start was 12 months ago for the Leeds Rhinos.
Dixon now. Last one and a knock on. Bezic had possession. Swinton hold on. And they'll just be relieved to see the ball.
Bezic's looking quizzically as this ball is placed or played. He's certainly round quick. Whether he was onside at marker, I think there's a question mark on that, but Bob Bezic, after putting in some fabulous work in, just blots his copybook. They needed a break, the Swinton Lions, if we're honest, for this game to be a true contest. Otherwise, it looked like Swinton were pedalling uphill and Toronto downhill.
Into this second quarter. Swinton need a try to get back into this game. That will help.
Always a crucial phase, the second quarter. It's where the lungs have been spread. They've put an initial burst of effort and energy into that 20 minutes. And it's just too difficult for Swinton unless they have hold of the ball. But good work, another crafty character, Luke Waterworth. He's been patient so far, he's given good service from acting half. We'll get him, we'll see him get out and have a look, and another player with a bit of speed and a bit of pace.
Shoot little aside, looking for something here. They're in a good field position. There is Sammy Kabula.
Kabula on a big man, another Wigan connected player.
Already faced Toronto with Dewsbury this season. Ball comes free. Who comes up with it?
Oh, that's unfortunate. Waterworth, he knows and all. He's cursing himself because the offload was a decent one, but the hooker wasn't ready for it. Number 9 involved there. Such a lot of things for a number 9 to have to deal with. Passing the ball, he's first up defensively. He'll put in more defensive efforts than everyone else, but he's got to be watching for occasions like that and opportunities.
Liam Cage trying to get away. Told to play the ball. Does so for Latelli. Here is McCrone.
That's a wonderful kick. Look at the
Brilliant
pace.
kick.
The fullback really having to motor to get and pick the ball up, and he's met by 3 defenders, Toronto defenders. The energy battle's so important in rugby league. We've said Swinton, with all that defence, it's far harder to defend in rugby league than it is to run with the ball.
Mike Butt plays it. No way through for Rodri Lloyd.
Smothering defence from Toronto.
Turning the screw, the Wolfpack.
Tackle 4, they've only made 10 metres in possession, Swinton.
Untidy pass as well, and more work for Ashton to do. Can't get through the tackle of Joe Mellor. Already the last one, and they're deep in their own half.
Oh, that's a tight angle. Can he find the sideline? I'm sure that's what he was going for, Jack Hansen. And a big tackle from the halfback as well. Where's number 1, but make no mistake, he's a halfback, Jack Hansen. A good kick, just didn't quite have the angle to get over the sideline, and his side probably needed that break.
Son of the former Wigan prop, Lee Hansen. Well to get that kick away in a really difficult situation as Sidlow plays the ball. Here is McCrone, really nice pass. And now Liam Kay.
And a knock-on. Well, I would have had a question mark over those 2 passes as well. He did well, the winger, to turn round and make that tackle, because as we all know, Liam Kay is one of the fastest in this division. He's possibly slowed his angle down a little, slowed his run down a little bit to give himself the right angle to find the pass to his support player. His centre, Chase Stanley, just inside him. But definitely line balls are the order for the day, Swinton. They're hitting that ball, it's a flat pass right on the advantage line.
Hansen gets that ball away. Thompson,
One.
Wilkin combined in defence for Toronto.
Go.
Liam Paisley plays the ball.
Okay.
Dump back, look at the urgency there from Bezic. I don't know whether he's managed to come up with possession.
Toronto knock on the floor.
Well, it's a knock on by Toronto, the referee says, but again, Toronto and Bob Bezic, if they'd have got hold of that ball, there's the knock on by Joe Mellor, if they'd have got hold of that ball 20 metres away from the try line of Swinton, putting more pressure on them. If you're going to offload the ball, if you decide collectively as a team that that's your tactic, you must be ready for it.
Go.
Bob Bezic, 22 times an Ireland international, a former teammate of Stuart Littler, the opposing dugout this afternoon. Did World Cups together in 2008 and 2013.
Hold.
Jack Wills played that ball. Here is Hansen.
4. John. Hold.
Waterworth, lateral run, drops the ball off.
5.
3 in the tackle though for Toronto. No progress for Lewis Hatton.
High. There it is. Oh, he did very well, didn't he, Blake Wallace? It took a little bit of a kink in the last 5 metres or so. It goes up high, he just makes that late adjustment, and those high kicks, they might prove fruitful for the Swinton Lions. It is a better set of possession when Swinton had hold of the ball. They made more metres and they got a bit of momentum as well.
Liam Kay is away though. Marauding down the centre of the field. Mike Butt holds on, Ashton is there. They want the quick play of the ball. Swinton still getting back as Wilkin gets the ball away for Thompson, puts the shoulder on Hansen. Clawed to the ground there by Jack Wells. Wilkin again. Now Mullally. Hatton. Kabula. Him to ground. Wilkin though with some space. McCrone. That's Wallace. Following up his own kick here. Who's going to get there first? Chase Stanley has put the ball down. And it is going to be a try awarded for Chase Stanley. He won the foot race. It was a great kick. And Toronto Wolfpack score a 3rd try at Haywood Road. 8 in the championship now for Chase Stanley.
Good metres made from Liam Kay to put Toronto in this field position, and as they've done on a number of occasions, start in the middle of the H's, the rugby league post. Their start point is there, then they shift it to the right, drag up the defenders, and they are skillful enough to place that ball just behind the defensive line, and that's a difficult skill. Chase Stanley, with his arms outstretched, using all the length of his body, just manages to get enough control on that ball. There's this run from Liam Kay, right at the back of the play, the ball. There's the space. He's been a big meter eater for the Toronto Wolfpack this afternoon, but that's part of his DNA. He does a lot of work from the backfield, makes those meters, but he's on hand to dab the ball down as well. A top-class, top-quality winger, Liam Kay.
6 tries in the last 4 games now for Chase Stanley. Hat-trick against Toulouse in Blackpool. First of his 12-year career. Now Wallace. Right between the uprights. 2 more points for Wallace. 2 more for Toronto Wolfpack. They're stretching away a little bit. 16 points to 0 now.
Much like the first try, Andrew Dixon on that first occasion. On this one, he's the man just outside in the next attacker along, Chase Stanley. He beats Ashton, and Ashton really desperately unlucky not to be there at the right time. It was a contest. Ultimately, he loses out to Chase Stanley. 16-0 on the scoreboard. What they need to do is put in a good defensive set here, Swinton. Try and restrict the meters, and as if that wasn't difficult enough, Toronto have made a couple of changes. Sidlow and Ackers on for the Wolfpack.
And some space for Ricky Latelli. Still looking to get the ball away. Lewis Hatton came in the nick of time for Swinton. On halfway is Sidlow. Offloads for Wallace. Wallace gets away from a couple. Hatton with the tackle. Bezic Mullally. It's Kabula.
They're losing the collision, aren't they? The Toronto Wolfpack getting through. Doesn't matter how hard the tackles are, they're getting through, and that's why you can see there Kabula. He gives a penalty away because he's trying to wrestle that dominance back. It's been a good shift by Mullally. There's a big number 31, Kabula. He's trying to make it as untidy and slow it down as much as he can, but it's not right for the referee, Greg Dolan.
Inside the last 10 first half, and Toronto hunting more points. It's Dixon. Rickhill on from the bench for the Lions. Bodine Thompson. Hansen, the last line of defence. That's how close they are, though, Toronto Wolfpack, and Wallace trying to find the line. Got by 3. Andy Ackers looked one way, came back the other. McCrone, the kick is fumbled. Zero tackle called. Liam Kay picks the ball off the toe of Lloyd there.
Oh, so unlucky for the Swinton Lions. They had the ball in the grasp and ended up letting go of it, and Toronto have another 6 goals at getting over the try line.
McCrone, Sidlow now. Relentless pressure from Toronto Wolfpack. 9 to go first half. Mellor, here is Wallace, and Wallace throws the dummy. Hansen alive to it though, but Wallace still going. Bodine Thompson, Mellor, Mullally, Rickhill with the tackle. Ackers, scuppering run from him, and Andy Ackers slammed into the turf. Desperate stuff from Swinton. Ashton involved. Bodine Thompson. That was Mellor. Here is McCrone.
It's been touched by Rodri Lloyd. Unfortunately, Andy couldn't regather. The referee will go back for the knock-on. He gets up quick. Rodri Lloyd tries to, first of all, effect the tackle. And when he ends up touching the ball, you'll just see quick hands here from the half-back, Josh McCrone, and Rodri Lloyd. He might have made the referee possibly have a think about it if he could have picked it up, but referee, touch judges haven't missed too much this afternoon. Over on that left side, Bodine Thompson, he'll be into his half-back. He was one-on-one on Jack Hansen on that last set of 6.
It was Liam Kay with the ball. All sorts going on there, and so this Toronto pressure can continue.
They're having a little ding-dong, aren't they, Liam Kay and Fairclough? I've seen them a couple of times. The 2 flyweights, they're having a look. They're having a stare down.
Toronto looking to land a significant blow here. That's how close they are to the Swinton line.
There again, the number 7.
Ackers with the pass. Sidlow trying to find the line. Use every ounce of that strength there. Rickhill underneath him.
Well done, Swinton. It's no easy task stopping the big man. Adam Sidlow gets over, but he's held up.
Andy Ackers throwing the dummy as he managed to find the line. Kabula over the top. Mellor. That's Mullally. Sidlow again. He's over the line. Still can't get the ball down. Again, it's Rickhill. Great defence from the Lions.
Second time they've had the big man over the line and stopped him from dabbing the ball down.
One more chance left. Wilkin from Mullally. The kick from Mellor.
Knock-on by Toronto.
It's a Toronto knock-on.
Well, there's some prayers been answered there by Swinton players. You can see he sticks his foot out. It's interesting, sometimes it's Jack Wells on that occasion. Sometimes coaches will say, don't get your feet anywhere near it, because if you get it wrong, we then have to defend another set of 6. Lapore, the latest man, trying to get the Lions forward. They need some energy now. Some of those backfield players, Buck, Lloyd, Paisley, Lapore, need to try and release some of the pressure off the big men. We've had to do a lot of defending. Ooh, a thunderous charge.
What a carry as well from Lewis Hatton. Got them out of problem territory, difficult territory. Now they inch into that Toronto half of the field. Kabula, taken by Sidlow. Last one coming up for Swinton. Brickhill gets the ball away. Hansen puts boot to ball. Taken well by Nick Rawsthorne, though.
It was a high kick. It was possibly to the winger rather than challenging him. Maybe 5 or 10 metres further or closer towards. Might have helped the chasers by Swinton, but they've got to the back end of the set. The completions, apart from some of those basic fundamental mistakes they've made.
Hatter with the tackle. Liam Kay scampers away himself. Brickhill among the Swinton tacklers. Ball from Adam Jones downstairs to wrap the legs up. Here is Sidlow now. Flicks the ball away. Under pressure there from Kabula. Here now, Bodie and Thompson.
Made a big difference to the bench, haven't they, Sidlow? And that was very busy when they've got on.
4 to go first half. Last one for the Wolfpack. Mellor.
Josh, okay, Josh, okay.
Oh, and Ashton spilled it.
It's inside the 10, chaser from Toronto. But here the referee, Mike, saying, give him space, give him space. Luckily for Swinton Lions, Matty Ashton looked very confident under that high ball, quite possibly because those chasers were in his eye line. He could hear them, he could feel them, he could sense them. But irrespective of that, Swinton get the ball. Get a couple of touches, probably 2 sets of 6 now.
3.5 to go, first half. Swinton in possession. They need something before the break, you feel. But it's a huge task against this Toronto defence. Jack Wells first up. Hansen. Fairclough. Shut down there by Dixon. It's now Ashton. An attack this time. Crone makes the tackle. Kabula. Brickhill. Reverse kick from Fairclough, but it's collected really well. Didn't manage to get that ball away, but they had to chance their arms, Swinton.
Lovely enterprise, wasn't it, from Swinton. Fairclough going back. His body is facing one side. He kicks back against the grain, and the fullback was on the same script. That's beautiful stuff. Unfortunately, it doesn't come off for Swinton. The more of that, the better. In the right areas of the field, but it'll keep those Toronto's defenders just guessing a little bit.
Good work in defence from Brickhill.
He's moved off the mark.
He's moved off the mark here, Worthington, and so Swinton, in the last 2 minutes, first half, have a chance to attack this Toronto line.
Well, Greg Worthington, in his first appearance of 2019, just too over-enthusiastic to play that ball. Swinton fans getting behind the side now. Can they get a vital try to go in at half-time?
Come on.
Certainly lifting the noise levels around Haywood Road. Swinton now camped on that Toronto try line.
They've hardly been near this end of the field, Swinton.
What a time this would be to get over to Kabula. Has to hold on. Dixon got the ball up really well there. Brickhill. For Fairclough and Ashton. But there's crossing there. It's an obstruction given. Much the frustration there, the fullback Matty Ashton. The crowd thought that Swinton had got over for a crucial 4-pointer, but the official said no.
They've done a decent job, really, on Matty Ashton. A big threat and a big indicator for the Swinton Lions. He's disappointed with that, but there's no doubt it is an obstruction. He goes around the back of one of his teammates. It was nice set-up, but as we mentioned, within 2 or 3 minutes of the start of this game, attention to detail is vital when you're playing against Toronto Wolfpack, because the clinical nature that they've got, when you make a mistake, they'll make you pay.
They've got the quality in the side to strike in this last 30 seconds as well, and that really would take this game away from the Swinton Lions. Here is Latelli. Offloads. Ackers holds on. Patton. among the tacklers there, alongside Adam Jones. Now Sidlow. He gets the ball away, but Liam Kay knocks the ball on.
Well, you can put that down to the line speed of the number 8 from Swinton Lions. He's done it consistently throughout this game. And although when you rush up like that, you might not be the person that makes that tackle. If you take somebody with you, he had 3 players around him, and then when Sidlow tries to find the offload, there are enough Swinton shirts to gobble up the ball.
That is the last action of this first half, and it's a satisfactory first 44. Brian McDermott and the Toronto Wolfpack have already put 50 on Swinton 3 times already in clashes between them, and they're in the ascendancy at half-time. 3 tries in 14 minutes. Dixon opened proceedings on 12, and he was followed over the try line by Ricky Latelli and Chase Stanley. 3 tries in 4 minutes for the Wolfpack, and Brian McDermott's men in control at half-time. Plenty of work for Swinton to do in the second period. At half-time, Swinton Lions 0, Toronto Wolfpack 16. Next up, Toronto's next assignment is a home fixture. They return to the Lamport Stadium to face the Dewsbury Rams, and you can see that one live in the Betfred Championship. Check your local listings for Toronto against Dewsbury next Saturday. At half-time, They're in control here at Haywood Road. Swinton Lions 0, Toronto Wolfpack 16. 3 tries for Brian McDermott's men, coming from Andrew Dixon, Ricky Latelli and Chase Stanley, all in the space of 14 minutes, midway through that first period. Have a look at some of the best moments of that first 40 now. Barry McDermott.
Well, it took 13 minutes for Toronto to breach the try line of the Swinton Lions. Wonderful kick there from Josh McCrone. They tried it a couple of times, puts it out in front, and Andrew Dixon, celebrating a big milestone, his 200th game, gets over, meat and drink to the quality second rower. Over on the opposite side, Latelli, too big and too strong for his opposite defenders. Paisley and Lapori can't get anywhere near the big man. Hand off, brush off, bump off, and that's the second try of the game. 17 minutes on the clock at that point. And great work here from Liam Kay. Love this. A winger getting involved, 40 metres upfield, giving his side good field position. And it's the same play again, couple of sets of hand. On that occasion, it's Blake Wallace with the nice kick. And having put in those metres, Liam Kay might have been a bit gassed because his centre, Chase Stanley, well, he beats him to that ball. And just as we were going in at half-time, it looked like Swinton might get on the scoreboard, but Adam Jones, the number 11 for Swinton, you can just see the fullback. He goes behind him, and there's an obstruction on a Toronto defender by the number 11 from Swinton. Disappointment for the young fullback there, but the stats at half-time will see the weight of possession. Just look at that. Top stat, 35% for Swinton, 65% for Toronto. So to only be 16-0 down is pretty good going, is that? But just look at the missed tackles. Swinton, they've made 13, probably about average, but Toronto, no missed tackle. Terrific effort from the Wolfpack.
Yeah, 13 missed tackles to none in that first 40. Just to communicate the significance of this match, Toronto Wolfpack would reopen the 6-point lead at the top if they get the 2 points here. Swinton looking to move above Dewsbury Rams into 10th place. So the stakes high at both ends of the table. Toronto, of course, looking for that top spot come the playoffs. Swinton desperate to avoid the drop as the bottom 2 go down from the Betfred Championship. They've lost to Toronto by 50 points on 3 occasions, remember. So in that context, 16 points to 0 at the break is a positive, I suppose, for Stuart Littler. They're facing a really quality Toronto outfit, though, looking for their 10th victory in a row. They're in control of things as things stand. But Swinton, they're looking for 3 in a row for the first time in 4 years, so plenty as far as they're concerned, but more importantly, the 2 points to get away from that battle at the bottom. Climb to 10th with a 22-17 win against Dewsbury. Half-time then, Toronto Wolfpack in control. Brian McDermott's men lead by 16 points to 0. Second half comes next. Only to lose have lowered the colours of the Toronto Wolfpack this season. Can Dewsbury get a victory against the Wolfpack in their next assignment? Toronto against Dewsbury next Saturday in the Betfred Championship. Check your local listings for that one. At half-time, the Wolfpack are in control at Haywood Road. Swinton Lions trail by 16 points to nil, 3 tries to nil in that first period. And the try scorers, Andrew Dixon, Ricky Latelli and Chase Stanley. 16-0, Brian McDermott's men ahead at half-time.
Well, Ben, it's just worth going over the analysis of that first half again. Toronto's very comfortable, very confident, keep going back to that right side. Andrew Dixon and the captain skipper, Josh McCrone, in perfect tandem. Nice kick, nice chase, and the second rower takes his time and manages to put it down correctly. They go over to the other side, and this is the antithesis. It's not about skill, it's about power, handoff, determination. It's an early ball to the centre, handoff, bump off, and there's his first try, the second try of the game, 17 minutes on the clock, and Liam Kay rolling his sleeves up, getting his team further upfield. A good field position, same play, same kick, same outcome. On this occasion, it's Chase Stanley, 27 minutes on the clock, and they look in control. But in the last 10 minutes, Swinton gradually ground themselves into the game. They got near the line of Toronto, and even though it was pulled back by an obstruction from Adam Jones, with better execution, better attention to detail, Swinton could have got over the try line. And he's disappointed, the young fullback. And we see an example of how much possession Toronto have had. 65% of the ball compared to 35 for Swinton. And no missed tackles. So in terms of the energy battle, when it's come to defending, Toronto have had the energy and been very good technically to not only make those tackles, but control the way that the game and the speed has been played by Swinton.
The third time this season that Toronto have kept their opposition to nil at half-time, but the first time since February. It was against Widnes at Newcastle. Josh McCrone leads his men out for this second period. They've racked up over 50 in all 3 meetings with Swinton. Brian McDermott's first game in Toronto, a 52-10 win. 6 weeks ago, there was 62-14 winners at Lamport Stadium. 13 months ago, that featured a hat-trick from Liam Kay and a couple from Gareth O'Brien as well. He's not playing this evening. And there were 52-12 victors here last March, Toronto. Ryan Brierley on that occasion scoring 2 tries and 8 goals. Ricky Latelli there, one of 3 Toronto scorers in that first period for Toronto Wolfpack. But I'm sure that Stuart Littler will have told his troops that this game is very much alive. They're desperate for the 2 points at the wrong end of the table. Toronto looking to restore their cushion at the top. And it's the class of the Wolfpack that has told so far in that first 40. What have Swinton got left in this second half? Toronto then get us underway. Swinton will have possession, barring an error. And it was Fairclough who collected, and Sidlow immediately in for the first tackle.
I thought for a second Kabula was going to try and offload that ball. Number 7, Fairclough. I'd like to see him and Jack Hansen get involved a lot more. The sparky players, they can lift the side, and they can, as we saw with that kick to the fullback Ashton, who's carrying the ball forward just before that try was knocked off. They've got a lot of creativity, and that player's worked hard in the first half. Bennion, the number 8, carried the ball forward, put in a good shift in defence.
Big shot coming in there. Gavin Bennion made his 100th career appearance in Blackpool. He made his Super League bar with Salford last year as Fairclough gets away. It's poor as well.
Not playing, not still last.
As from Swinton, it's still the last though, says the referee.
Give 10.
The kick does come in.
Play on.
But it's Blake Wallace who collects it.
Well, there you go, Ben. That's what they've got to do, Swinton. If you try and go toe for toe, and shot for shot and set for set with Toronto. You need to be better at it than they are. And Swinton haven't been in that first 40 minutes. That's why they're behind on the scoreboard. If they make good decisions, they get that field position. The conditions have dried up somewhat now, so it'll be a little bit faster. Skills, you won't have to be as bang on as you'd need to be. There's a knock on at the play of the ball there by Sidlow. So they'll get a bit more possession. You can see as he's trying to put that ball down. He's got the ball on his fingers and his forearm. Doesn't get his thumb around the ball and lose his grip.
Okay, guys,
Started the last 9 at prop. Adam Sidlow.
Shot clock off you go, mate, yes. Out!
Only Wolfpack ever present in 34 League and Cup last year. Played with Stuart Littler at Salford.
One! Move, Bodie!
Swinton
Hold!
comes to box this evening as Bodie and Thompson makes the tackle. Ackers with a good shot. Former Swinton player.
Go on, John.
26 tries in 56 for the Lions in 2014 and 15. Adam Sidlow. Pass at the line is good from Fairclough, and Ashton finds Lloyd.
Oh, he needs to stay on the island.
He's got the ball away magnificently, but it's only come up for Toronto anyway. There was almost an inevitability about that pressure from the Wolfpack.
Well, they were ready for it, Toronto. On the second time that Swinton shifted the ball, they just ushered across, slid across, and almost pushed the winger Mike Butt into the sideline.
Wilkin for Mellor, Bodie and Thompson. Now it's Wallace.
Move! Hold!
Ainsley with the tackle. Latelli. Inside of him is Joe Mellor. This is Mullally now. Benyon among the tacklers. Hatton in there. And Brickhill. Was it number Ackers? Mellor. This is Wallace. Coming in there from Paisley.
Good contact, wasn't it? You could see the head jolt back.
Latelli. That was Mellor, Wilkin, McCrone, and the Ackers. Smacked to the ground there by Kabula. Mellor again, McCrone. Nice ball, could be a try here. It was Worthington who almost over.
Hold on. Hold on, I'm applauding that because it was good scrambled defence from the Swinton Lions. It was a wonderful ball to put Worthington into space. Worthington's on the field now. Chase Stanley picked up a knock, an injury in that first half, late on in that first half. So Greg Worthington is going to gleefully accept that. Although he won't like to see his teammate potentially injured, it's an opportunity for him.
An opportunity here for Toronto Wolfpack in defence. And a knock-on called by Greg Dolan. Pressure has paid off.
Jack Wells, he's going into contact there. There is a little bit of a hand there from Joe Mellor, but it's his responsibility to keep hold of that ball. Here's the earlier passage of play. The winger is almost shoved over the sideline. He's trying to stay on the island. He throws the ball back, but Toronto hustle and hurry.
10 seconds to go. Heads in, shot clock off.
Mellor feeds the scrum, McCrone picks up. Dixon now. Just want to get away from a couple. Hatton holds on. Adam Jones in there as well.
Hold! Go.
Sidlow. Gets to him and Kabula. Tackle as well. Pressure though coming up for Toronto, and Ackers gets the ball away. McCrone under pressure still manages to offload from Mullally. Mullally faced by Ashton. First up.
He almost gave a penalty away. Wilkin in front of him in the defensive line of Swinton. He got away with it, Toronto.
Mellor, Wallace over the top. Rawstorm with work to do. 3 coming over to shut that space down. Rawstorm still going.
Release 4.
Ackers. That was Mellor, McCrone, and Wallace puts the ball down.
Okay, man.
And Blake Wallace has dropped that ball, I believe, when they went over to Toronto's left, Swinton's right. On 2 occasions, the defenders from Swinton have got out and hit him as soon as he's collected that ball, but Blake Wallace with nobody in front of him. A little bit of residue, a little bit of a remnants of the two of occasions he's copped a whack. Blake Wallace, an excellent runner of the ball, fabulous in broken field, makes a rare mistake.
Out.
Tries in all 3 previous meetings with Swinton Lions, Blake Wallace.
Out.
He has 5 against them.
1. Hold.
No more on that occasion.
Bodine Thompson and John Wilkin, 2 of the more experienced players in this Toronto team. Penalty is given away. He's claiming that his hand was trapped in. Bodine Thompson may well have been by Mike, but that's no concern of the Swinton Lions now. That's the 40-metre line that they're playing on now.
Okay, I'll watch it.
You're relieved to get away from that red zone.
Time on, go. 1. Move!
Nice work from Jack Wells.
Go.
They want to get a bit of momentum at the play the ball quicker than the defenders can get back set. They failed to do that on a regular basis in the first half.
Move, John! Line, Anthony.
It's Ashton who played the ball, and Benyon managed to duck underneath. The shot there was coming in.
Well, they've had a nice little duel, those two, haven't they, since Sidlow came onto the field. Well, he doesn't make a dent in him.
Move, Andrew!
Kabula holds on. Rick Hill. Left for Fairclough. Inviting kick over the top. Oh, real collision there with Wallace.
Good commitment by both players then, putting their bodies on the line.
Wolfpack. Come on with it.
Oh, Rodri Lloyd, acting half-back then, has an absolute brain explosion. It's a beautiful kick. Both players go towards the ball. And then Rodri Lloyd, the number 3, the captain, players player, coaches player, fans player of the year, has a brain explosion. He kicks it right to the fullback from Toronto.
1. Move!
And so the Wolfpack with a full set here as Mellor picks out Liam Kay into Kabula's tackle.
2.
There's the kick there, too hard, fullback right onto it, nearly caves his chest in.
3.
Caught it on the full in the in-goal area, so 20-metre restart has given Toronto this platform. Liam Kay.
4.
What a tackle there as Liam Kay got up to full tilt. Here is McCrone. Well, it's Wilkin. Mellor has Thompson for company and holds on himself. Joe Mellor almost had a second opportunity. Latelli puts the ball down, but in vain there was a knock-on.
Again, I'm going to applaud him that because it's good defence from Toronto, particularly from Jack Hansen. You can see him involved in that. He might have a bit of a handoff, but he's pointing where he wants defenders. Watch him, this will be a great shot. He wants his inside cover. Jack Wells, before he commits to the player, he wants his inside cover to help him. Excellent work from Swinton.
Heads in, shot clock off. Out!
Leading the scrum. Swinton again deep in their own half.
1. Move! Hold! Go.
I don't know whether Swinton might be better putting in an early kick. Tackle 3, tackle 4. Get one of those half-backs to put 50, 60 metres on a big long-range kick. Back their defence at the minute. They're looking pretty good defensively.
Lepori, an Italian international, in the 2017 World Cup on the wing against the Fijians. Sidlow. Benyon. Rick Hill.
40.
Fairclough. Good kick under pressure. Rawsthorne eventually takes control. It's a good chase, led by Jack Wells.
Yeah, decent outcome as well. We're hearing from the sideline, Stanley. Not come out of the changing rooms yet. Went in with a leg injury. We didn't quite catch what happened. It must have been late in that first half.
Move! Hold! Go.
but they had a decent replacement on the sideline. And there he is, Greg Worthington, right on cue.
3.
Lost the ball there, though, Worthington.
Rodri, you pull the ball out, mate.
The referee's penalised, yeah. And that's another bad mistake. If he's guilty here, Rodri Lloyd, you can just see he moves his elbow, helps that ball on his way in. As the captain and the leader of this side, Rodri Lloyd's a lot better player than that.
I will, don't you worry, I'll be out your way. I know.
That's two decisions he's made. One with the ball, one without it.
Between the lines, guys,
That
between
put
the
pressure
lines.
on his side.
Let's go, make it, fellas. Go.
Super League with Wigan and London and Widnes. Rodri Lloyd.
I must say he's had a good game as well, hasn't he, Mullally? 51 minutes unbroken play, still looking for work.
His first start for Toronto.
2.
A year ago, since his last, exactly as
3.
almost going against Shelford with an important tackle on Wilkin.
Get up the plate, John.
Back
Go.
to the floor. Sidlow.
4.
Carry that ball over the line.
And a knock-on as well.
Look at his reaction as Sidlow is adjudged to have spilled the ball.
Third occasion. Well, Stuart Littler, as a player, let me tell you, was good with the ball. He was an attacking centre. He was an uncompromising defender. He will love the effort of his side, as do the fans on the sideline. And what's more, it looks like somebody said something out of turn. The referee has penalised them. And Swinton are on top here. Toronto are rattled.
Can they turn this into points, though? As Mullally puts the shoulder in.
Held. Release. 1. Go, you good, guys.
Paisley plays the ball for Benya.
It's okay. 2. Move. Go, Andy. Hold. Go.
Brickhill. Back on the inside.
3.
Fairclough.
Move.
Trying to catch the markers, the number 7 and the fullback. Bulla's made a difference as well. He's a big lump of a lad. Difficult to put down.
Brickhill, Hansen.
That's okay.
That was Fairclough. Adam Jones.
5. Move.
Good spell this for Swinton. Last chance though to post some points here. Really nice pass, and then Ashton flicks the ball out. There could be something here. This could be a really good Swinton try. It's dumped back, and it's Toronto in the shape of Mellor who get there first. But there were 1 or 2 problems there for Toronto in defence, and Swinton really got their tails up here.
Beautiful skill from Swinton. What about the little inside round the back flick by the fullback Ashton? Well, they're having a go. They have to try the unorthodox. Nothing to lose. No doubt about it, they're on top in this game. What would they give to get over the try line? Kyle Shelford, another former Wigan Academy player, the latest Swinton boy taking it forward.
Hansen. That was Ashton.
2.
Lapori under Latelli's tackle. Hansen. Paddy Jones now.
3. Move. Hold. Go.
Is this the moment for Swinton? Kabula throws a dummy.
4.
Wilkin
John.
closes the door.
Go.
Brickhill. It was Fairclough's kick. It's still loose. Work for Liam Kay to do.
That's play on. The kick was put in. It's the number 7, Rob Fairclough. It was number 7, Rob Fairclough, who puts that delicate kick in. It ricochets off a couple of ankles. There's the late challenge penalty. Worthington made a mistake with the ball, gave a penalty away, giving an opportunity to Swinton to have another go at the line.
So back-to-back sets for the Lions. Collected by Fairclough. Here is Shelford. Olberson with the tackle.
1. Move, Tom. Hold
25 to go.
2. Go.
Paddy Jones, the ball away. It's now Adam Jones. McCrone with the tackle. Brickhill. Hansen back on the inside. This could be the chance. Mike Butt's going to go in. And Swinton get their first try. Mike Butt on his 100th Swinton appearance. Tries in each of the Lions' 3 previous appearances against Toronto Wolfpack. And he's struck against them here at Haywood Road. 13 for the season now. And Swinton right back in this.
Beautiful set-up play. Fairclough to Hansen, stretching the defenders. You can see Tom Alberson. He's looking at Hansen. He needs, like Hansen brought the inside defender towards him on the previous defence that Swinton had to do. Alberson needed the same. The gap was too wide, and Mike Butt, he goes in for Swinton's first try. They have worked so hard for that try, past Mike Butt before the game. Smile from ear to ear, looking forward to this game, and didn't he deserve that?
Rob Fairclough adds the extras. 10 points the gap. Swinton relishing this battle with the top dogs in the competition.
Well, they're right in this game, aren't they? I said, didn't I, after half-time, I'd like to see Fairclough, I'd like to see Hansen with their hands on the ball a little bit more. Beautiful set-up play. So much skill involved in that. And those Swinton fans delighted. And they can see now, they can sense that, yes, their team are on top. Have they got enough belief in their soul and sinew to think that they might actually get another try and take this game away from the mighty Wolfpack?
England students international Mike Butt, the former Manchester Metropolitan University student. Good restart as well. Oh, frustration there after points. That's exactly Mike Butt, the try scorer.
Down Toronto ball.
Ecstasy to agony there.
A shame for Swinton. And there we see Mike Butt. All he's got to do is complete that set of 6, and when he's getting up, loses control of the ball. 27 minutes, Toronto scored their last try. 57.
1 second, Josh, wait.
Half an hour they've gone without scoring a try, Toronto. Significant margin that for Toronto on its own. Credit to the defence and then their attack as well. When they've had the right field position, they've had the skill to deliver.
Let's go, Josh, off you go, straight in. Straight
Josh
in.
McCrone.
Out.
Led the scrum and not the best pass. Bodine Thompson picks up the pieces, but immediately under pressure from Hansen.
Go.
Mellor. Sidlow now.
Move. Go.
Andy Ackers. John Wilkin. Here now, Joe Mellor. That's involved again alongside McCrory. Shelford in there as well. Latelli. Gives it some air for Wilkin. Here is Alberson now. Paddy Jones attack. Spun round by Jack Wells. Ackers. Wilkin. Dixon.
Stand. 5.
Last chance. Bezic with a really nice kick, and they're chasing this. And Latelli is there. Ricky Latelli goes in for his second try. The pressure created by the error from Mike Butt, and Toronto strike, and Ricky Latelli moves into double figures in the championship. Try on his home debut against Swinton in April. It's now 5 tries in 5 for Ricky Latelli.
Well, a ruthless response from Toronto. Right off the kickoff, Mike Butt, who scored the try, made the mistake, and Bob Bezic, recently back on the field for the Toronto team, puts in a kick. Isn't he a valuable member of this side? Bob Bezic, the heartbeat of everything. When he's not an acting half, he's got the skill and ability to deliver the same pass that we've seen countless times by McCrone, Mellor, Blake Wallace on occasion, and Ricky Latelli. He has enough composure to deal with the bouncing ball, the slippery ball, and score a try.
He got his first double in Wolfpack colours against the Batley Bulldogs, and now he gets 2 against the Swinton Lions. Now are gone. 2 more points from Blake Wallace. And Toronto now ahead by 22 points to 6.
Well, that allows the Wolfpack just to breathe a little bit easier now. The scoreboard looking a lot healthier from the Wolfpack's perspective. Excellent position by the referee. He watches that ball, touchdown, and Ricky Latelli knew what he was doing. He was on the same page as Bob Bezic, and the pass was pinpoint perfect.
Olberson. Pushing forward for Toronto.
Kyle, wait. Go, Patrick, quicker, come on.
Nick Rosethorne.
You know, it just illustrates how important substitutions are, rotations are.
Go.
Brian McDermott from the Wolfpack reintroduced Olberson, Bezic at precisely the right time. At half-time, they'd only made Swinton 2 changes, Toronto 3, so plenty in the bag in terms of interchanges.
McCrone for Wilkin, this is nice again, and McCrone with some space down the centre of the field. He's got support here from Ackers. That's a really nice offload, and Bob Bezic is going to go in. He slides over the line. Surely this will be given. Greg Dolan says yes, and Bob Bezic gets the 5th Toronto Wolfpack try, his 2nd in the championship this season. A former international teammate of Stuart Littler, and piles on the pain for his former Ireland colleague.
Well, this is breathtaking, Ben. Soft hands, passing to players, assessing situations up. Even when there's a defender, it looks like the play is dead. Let's have a look at it again. Liam Kay, as he's done on many occasions. Offload, pass, pass, offload, players running into space, and Bob Bezic gets on the end of it and delivers the worst slide for a try in history.
Determined to avoid the possibility of double movement. Bob Bezic, his 2nd try of the season. His first came in the only defeat that Toronto have suffered this season in Toulouse. Surely a victory, an extension to their lead at the top of the Betfred Championship. 2 more points from Blake Wallace. The Wolfpack now ahead by 28 points to 6.
Well, 2 tries in 3 minutes from Toronto. No doubt about it, they were under pressure, and it took them till the 60-minute mark to wrestle that control back. But when they're in a mood like this, they're absolutely breathtaking.
Guys, wait for him!
Those things don't just happen. That's a skill, and that's a habit developed by the coaching and training of Brian McDermott. Leeds Rhinos, they have that ability for many, many years. It looks like it's not off script, but it's habits developed.
Liam, let go!
Liam Kay.
Go. 2. Move! Hold!
Kenga
Go.
and Paddy Jones combined there.
3.
Nick Rosethorne.
Go.
Pressure applied by Jack Wells. Here is Latelli
4.
on a hat-trick, of course.
That was a big challenge. Hansen again rocked the head of Latelli. He's just having a feel of his gum shield there. Latelli, big shoulder contact. I must admit, I'm feeling quite nostalgic, me, with Hansen, son of Lee, and then Adrian Shelford's son, Kyle, on the field at the same time. 2 excellent servants of Wigan Club mainly.
Go.
Ashton did well under that kick.
2. Move!
Apologies for any language you might have picked up there. As Swinton continue.
3. Move, Bob!
Mike Butt, their try scorer.
Go.
Inside the last quarter of an hour, what Swinton Lions got left.
Hold. Go.
A long way away from this 3rd straight championship win.
5.
Let nobody down with this performance. Of course, they've lost by 50.
Take it down,
Toronto have hit 50 against them on 3 previous occasions.
John Wilkin with his hands in at the play of the ball there, all over Kyle Shelford as he's trying to play that ball. And you're right, Ben, with 65 minutes on the clock. The scoreboard is lopsided now. But in terms of this game, you have to credit the conditioning and fitness of the part-time team, Swinton Lions. Let nobody down. Important they finish this game in the right manner now.
Tap from Liam Paisley. Here is Jack Wells.
Hold!
Olberson with the tackle. Brickhill. Hansen. That was fair. Crawford some space. Maybe for Ashton. Clawed back by Wallace. Worthington in there as well. Here now Fairclough again. Kenga.
Nice work by Jose Kenga. Determined to put in a big game here.
Brickhill. Shelford. Short ball.
4. Move!
Picked up and dumped, isn't it? Andy Acker's right underneath the ball.
Hansen again. Fairclough chases his own kick and he was taken out by Olberson. Red Dolan right on the spot there.
He needs to do more of that, Rob Fairclough. We said before the game, cheeky character. You see the smile on his face. He knows that that was available to him and will continue to be available to him if he thinks outside the box. We've seen a couple of times him go off script, play what's in front of him. Players and coaches call it playing with your eyes up. Look what's there, look what's available, and deliver it.
Go.
Good 4 points. Can 6 be available for Swinton? They need them right now. 13 minutes to go.
Go.
In the right part of the field as Waterworth finds Hansen. This is Shelford.
3. Move! Hold!
Odin
John,
Thompson
on
on his opposite number. Oh, some space maybe for
4.
Waterworth. Thompson was alive though to that danger. Assisted by Wilkin, inching close to the Lions. Not the best pass. Rodri Lloyd though does really well with it, puts a good kick in as well.
That's a better than good kick, that's an excellent kick.
Nowhere for Briley to go.
Absolutely nowhere. Left-footed kick from the captain. Puts the right amount of weight on that, and you can hear when the players collide in backfield there was no space at all, no time to deal with that. Briley, Butt and Briley having a fair old contest, even though Bodine Thompson
No, he doesn't. He was down before.
With an injury.
Got 28 played, so about.
Bodine Thompson made his first start in 7 against Swinton back in April. He got a try in that 52-10 win.
Here's where the injury occurs for Bodine Thompson. Fierce competitor. Absolutely granite forward. He's picked up a knock somewhere in the back 3 of Toronto. Yeah, the back 3 of Toronto. There it is. He's collided heads while making that tackle. Waterworth back on the field for Swinton, but the back 3, Dixon, Thompson and Wilkin, very impressive as usual.
Dropout finds Hansen. Here is Shelford. Good line speed though from Toronto.
Hold!
Wilkin and Thompson who make the tackle. Here now Paisley.
2. Move! Hold! Go.
Waterworth. Hansen.
3.
Almost saw something.
Hold!
Mullally shut the door alongside Andy Ackers there. Waterworth. That was Fairclough.
4. Move! Hold! Wait! Go.
Wallace in defence for Toronto. Waterworth's kick. It's followed up. Could they get over the line here? Really good determination from Fairclough. And Fairclough has touched down for the Swinton Lions. Second try for the hosts. Wants to get on with it.
Lovely, absolutely beautiful play there. We said how important the reintroduction of Waterworth would be. Jumped out from dummy half, sees the defenders away from that try line, and doesn't he show determination and awareness to keep moving, make that ball available by bringing it away from his body whilst having and maintaining a good grip on the ball, and he puts that ball down. He's been good. Rob Fairclough in this second half injected himself at crucial times for Swinton.
4 tries now in the championship in 2019 for Rob Fairclough. Now he's looking for 2 more points. Hasn't found the target with the kick, but Swinton in double figures. Trail by 28 points to 10 now.
You can just see it takes a ricochet, doesn't it? But fortune favours the brave, and Swinton were brave enough to put themselves in the right place. And Fairclough, he picks up his side's second try.
Guys, wait for him!
They haven't been overwhelmed, the Swinton Lions, have they? Even in that first half, when they had all that defending to do. Jose Kenga carrying it forward now.
Met by a wall of Wolfpack defenders. Worthington among them. Here is Shelford now. Worthington again involved alongside Blake Wallace in defence. 9.5 to go. Huge ask for Swinton, but they're in possession.
Go.
Fairclough. Gavin Benyon back on the field for Swinton now on a short break. Trying to fill his lungs and regather some energy.
4.
Work from Ackers against his former club.
Play on.
Here now Liam Kay to return the kick. Oh, and Kay almost get through. Saw him glide away from earlier in the game.
Got to the 10, go.
So difficult to stop when in motion, Liam Kay.
2. Move. Hold. Go.
Played by Worthington.
3. Move, Kyle.
I'm sure Ryan Bryler will want to get on this score sheet.
Nice pass from Rawsthorne, and Dixon is away. Dixon stepping. Oh, that's a brilliant offload as well from Rawsthorne.
4. Move, Michael. Nick, no dive.
Swinton defence on red alert again here. Joe Mellor with possession. He's back inside.
Hold. Release.
Jack Wells with the tackle. Ackers. That was Bezic. Somehow it finds Brierley and he puts boot to ball, but got the trajectory all wrong there.
Too much weight on that kick, and Ryan Brierley playing in the full-back position. Spent last month on loan at his hometown club, the Leigh Centurions. Scored 5 tries in 4 games for the Leigh club.
Okay. Move. Hold it tight.
Last 7 or 8 minutes now for the Swinton Lions.
Move.
Creditable performance. As I said a while ago, they don't look tired, they don't look fatigued. And they've done well to hold and hang on.
Hold. Go.
Been 2 real key periods, one in either half as far as Toronto Wolfpack are concerned. 3 tries in 14 minutes first half and 2 in 3 minutes in this second period. As Hansen spills the ball. Rueful look in his face.
On. Toronto ball.
Disappointment. Disappointment from young Jack Hansen. The benefit from this experience, the intensity of this game.
Okay, mate.
Has brought out the best in him. That ball a little bit too low. There's been some outstanding performers for Swinton, and he's right up there with them.
Seconds in, guys. Shot clock off. Out!
Toronto scrum as Latelli gets the ball away. He's got Rawsthorne for company on that left-hand side, but that was really good scramble there from Swinton.
4 blue shirts in the frame there. And they've just tried to get a little bit too much. Nick Rawsthorne tackled. We heard the referee called held. And look at them, they're just trying to move in towards that sideline. It's the last person in.
Ricky.
I think it's the fullback, Matty Ashton. He's the one that's penalised. Wasn't entitled to get involved in that.
1. Move! Hold! Go, Luke.
Inside the final 6 minutes. And the Ackers.
2. Move! Make it, Luke.
He would love a 4-pointer against the old side.
Far too long, fellas. A short move straight
Too long
away.
in the tackle. More pressure coming up for Swinton. This time Gavin Benyon is penalised.
Matthew, I told you straight away.
Bezic Mellor, Wilkin. Riley on the overlap.
Stand! One. Go.
Lettelli. Mellor. Oh, Mellor gets away from one. Can't get away from Ashton. He's still going. For a moment, he was going to somehow find the line. Desperate defence again from the Lions. 4 in the tackle. Ackers gets the ball away. Here is Sidlow, though. There is a gap elsewhere. Sidlow stretches out. And Sidlow gets the ball down. Adam Sidlow. His 4th try of the season.
3 minutes on there.
Yeah, that's just a mismatch, isn't it? Kyle Shelford facing Adam Sidlow, desperately trying to repel him, push him back. Might have been better just getting somewhere around that ball, but you can see the intelligence of Sidlow. Holds it in his right hand. He knows he has defenders on his left, and he keeps that ball away as long as he can. Just inches his way towards the sideline and dabs it down. 75 minutes, 76 towards. And Adam Sidlow, as the bench have been so impressive, gets over the try line.
Smile from Adam Sidlow. The only ever present for the Wolfpack in 34 League and Cup last year. Played 14 of 15 in 2019.
About a minute.
Started the last 9 at prop before this. Wallace, no mistake with the extras. And Toronto racing away. 34 points to 10. The Wolfpack ahead now.
Yeah, well, that scoreboard probably a little bit unkind to the efforts that Swinton have put in this afternoon, but that's probably the golfing class. The golf on the salary cap as well. Big spend by Toronto Wolfpack.
Okay.
Top class NRL, Super League, international standard rugby league players that still make mistakes. Ben Blake, Wallace from the kickoff just bounces off his shoulder. High, hanging. I beg your pardon, there's a knock-on from Swinton. It's Matty Ashton.
Rob, nice one back, mate. Shot clock off. Out!
First knock-on was by the Swinton fullback. You can't blame him, he's getting up there. He's attempting to regain and regather that ball.
Hold! Go.
Worthington played it in Rawsthorne now.
2. Move! Hold. Go.
Liam Kay. Kenga amongst the tacklers. Worthington.
Move!
Man carrying it for Toronto.
Go.
His first start in Wolfpack colours.
Ball.
Liam Kay now.
Move, Kyle! Hold! Go.
Ackers. Sidlow.
5. Move! Hold! Play on.
The Ackers again.
Okay.
High from Joe Mellor.
Play on.
Collected well by Ashton.
1. Move, Ricky!
Well taken by the fullback, under pressure from Toronto. Swinton Lions now with at least one set of possession and a long way away from that try line. Working very hard, and you can see that the Toronto players lifting now, just going up a gear, working extra hard defensively. Anthony Mullally, well, he's had an outstanding game for me. I think there's been some good performers by Toronto, but Anthony Mullally, with the large, long shift that he put in his first stint, and the input and involvement he's had in his second. Here we go.
Great from Fairclough. And he's managed to get the ball as well. This could be a magnificent try from Swinton. He's kicked ahead. It's a really nice kick, and it's a foot race. Liam Kay is fast, though, and he gets the toe there first. Mike Butt chasing for all it was worth. What a fantastic attack that was, though, from the Swinton Lions.
Well, Rob Fairclough sees something, and he's playing completely what he sees here. You won't see many coaches and players practicing that during a training session, but the instinct to take advantage of it And a good chase from Mike Butt as well. Terrific work.
Okay. 10 seconds.
Fairclough
Shot clock off. Time off.
among the leading lights of this Swinton performance. As is that man there, Gavin Benyon. What a run.
Oh, like a missile.
Good play the ball as well.
Okay, Andy, you make 10.
Jack Wells.
2.
Is there something more for Swinton in this last 30 seconds or so? Waterworth. Kenga now.
Move! It's 3. Yeah, 3.
Here is the hooker again. And now Hansen. This time it's Jack Wells.
It's okay. 4. Move! Up to
Kenga.
the 10.
Down by Dixon.
Go, Bobby offside.
Waterworth. Couple of chances left. Kick from Fairclough, brilliantly converted by Mike Butt. It's a second try for Mike Butt, right on the hooter. They've lost this one. The 2 points may have gone elsewhere, but Swinton have let nobody down, and Mike Butt strikes again at Toronto's expense.
Well, look at this, left-footed kick into the path. You can see that Liam Kay is nowhere near Mike Butt. He's left an acre of field available for the halfback, who's got the skill to deliver that. He's kicked it from the outside of his foot, Ben. Unbelievable stuff from Rob Fairclough. He puts this in close to his own line, or he puts the kick in close to his own line, and from that dropout, that opportunity presents itself. And Mike Butt, second try of the game. Well, they're allowed to walk away from this game and feel like, even though the scoreboard says that they're 20, 18 points behind, they've let nobody down, as you quite rightly said, Ben.
Mike Butt trying his debut. That was against Keighley back in May 2015. He's got 2 on his 100th Swinton appearance. Conversion from Rob Fairclough, can't find the target. But Swinton, far from disgraced. Mike Butt, their hero, with a double. One of 3 Swinton tries, with 6 in the other column for the Toronto Wolfpack. Bear in mind, Swinton lost the last 3 meetings with Toronto, as the Wolfpack racked up 50 points. They certainly have given them a game here at Haywood Road this afternoon. 34 points to 10, and 2 spells really that took the game away from the Lions. 3 tries in 14 minutes. Andrew Dixon kicking things off on his 200th career appearance, followed over the try line by Ricky Latelli and Chase Stanley. And that put Toronto in a 16-0 half-time lead. Mike Butt did strike first in the second half, but a double inside 3 minutes from Ricky Latelli. His second try, and Bob Bezic made it 28 points to 6. Rob Fairclough hit back 2 minutes, or 12 minutes short of full time, 28 points to 10, and then Sidlow with the last Toronto try. Mike Butt, a late consolation with his second effort, but Toronto march on. It's now 15 wins from 16 games. They've restored their 6-point cushion at the top. It's not to be a 3rd win in a row for the Swinton Lions. But more good memories for Toronto against the Swinton Lions. Eliminated from the 1895 Cup at the first hurdle last week away at Dewsbury. Swinton, and now Toronto follow that up with another win. But it was a good performance. Adam Sidlow on screen, one of your try scorers. And we can hear from the man of the moment, big game for him, big moment for him. They've got the 2 points. John Wilkin, congratulations on your 500th, I should say, career appearance. And the 2 points, the only thing that mattered. Just lost communication with John at the moment. Just go back. Let's see Joe Mellor on screen there. John Wilkin has celebrated this landmark, and really, because of those 2 periods that I talked about, Barry, it never really was in doubt in terms of these 2 points as far as Toronto Wolfpack were concerned.
No, but the Swinton Lions pushed them all the way, and you have to credit the commitment of the Swinton Lions players. You caught a glimpse of Stuart Littler sharing and exchanging a few jokes with Anthony Mullally. And he will have said to him, "We nearly got you there, lad. Nearly got you."
I think we've got the connection now with John Wilkin. John, congratulations, 500 up, and what a way to do it.
Yeah, it's not going to make the memoirs. Yeah, it was a tough day today. You know, we dug in. The conditions were poor, and you know, we've had a relatively tough week. So we wanted to defend well. I thought we defended with some tenacity, but we were really poor with the ball. With regard to the 500, I find it mad how we sort of sentimental about numbers. You know, I was 499 last week. I'm 500 this week, and I don't want to play it down. Very nice of all the support I've got, but all it tells you is how many games I've played. Nothing of the detail and the memories and the quality, and that's what I'm, you know, delighted with. I think my 500 games is full of people, of finals, of games I'll remember. But as I said, I won't think I'll remember my 500th.
Well, John, it's Barry. I've got a quick question for you. Obviously, 500 games, and we've seen on social media, and I suspect you've had some private messages as well from some of the great players that you played with. If you could highlight one memory, one game, go back and rewind one of those 500, what would it be?
I think 2000 and I think it was the 2006 Challenge Cup final. We missed out in the semi-final to Hull in 2005, and I told my dad I'd get him a winner's medal in 2006 as a gift. I think that's, don't know, it's probably a standout moment aside from you know, my first ever rugby game, you know, when I was 9 or 8 or whatever at Hull Boys Club, going into a dingy sports hall and playing rugby with some really rough lads from the centre of Hull. It taught me, you know, how soft I was, and in some ways taught me how to behave and give me discipline. It gave me structure to my life. It gave me, you know, something to drive towards and strive towards, and made me competitive. And so as all the big accolades and the big games and finals I've played in, you know, probably the first day that my dad took me to my local amateur team is the day that'll be the most important. And I can't emphasise how important it is for parents to support the kids in the journey of being a professional sportsman. And my mum and dad sacrificed, you know, endless amounts of time to get me where I needed to be. And I can urge any parent who's thinking of sitting at home on a Saturday rather than take the kids down to rugby, make sure you get your kids on that sports field.
Couldn't agree more, John. Great sentiments there. Thanks very much for talking to us, and enjoy the win and enjoy your 500th career appearance.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Cheers, boys. Thanks
for talking to us. See how this match concluded then, and Toronto winning it comfortably in the end by 34 points to 14. 5 different try scorers for the Wolfpack. Ricky Latelli with a double, was followed over the try line by Andrew Dixon, Chase Stanley, Bob Bezic and Adam Sidlow, and Blake Wallace adding 5 goals as well. Wasn't 50 this time, but a satisfactory 2 points for Toronto Wolfpack. Brian McDermott will be very happy with that. And the man that kicked things off is downstairs now, Andrew Dixon. Congratulations, 2 more points, and the Toronto Wolfpack bandwagon certainly rolls on.
Yeah, it's great, you know. Tough game against Swinton. They played really well and provided a tough contest for us, and you know, we're just happy to get the performance and the win, really.
And of course, you kicked things off early on, 12 minutes with the first try, in red hot form, and a good way to celebrate your 200th career appearance. I know that John Wilkins probably had all the media this week, but a landmark for you. Yeah,
you know, it's a nice little kick from Josh McCrone. He's been putting me through some gaps this year, and you know, been running some lines off him, and you know, John Wilkin providing some for me as well. And like you say, John's there, made 500, and you know, if any player in the career can get to somewhere near that, you know, I'm sure they'll be happy.
Well, Andy, it's Barry. I just wanted to say well done on a hard-fought victory. Difficult conditions, and Swinton tenacious in their defence. You had good periods where you were putting them under pressure, and in that second half, they scored first with Mike, but the conditions would have played a part. But you know, when do you get things ready and get your bag packed and get off to Toronto? We hear it's 20 degrees in Toronto.
Yeah, looking forward to getting over there, you know. Really love the city, and, you know, it's nice and warm over there, and really appreciate the fans that come out for us every week, and, you know, just looking forward to getting back over there.
Thanks very much, Andrew. 10 in 10 for you, so red hot form. And this is what it means to the championship table. Toronto now 6 points clear, again at the top, and look at that points difference as well. Over 100 better than Toulouse, despite their victory 24 hours ago. So Toronto rolling away now, 30 points now at the top of the Betfred Championship. So back downstairs, and Rob Fairclough waited to join us. Rob, great performance from you. It's obviously the one that all the teams in the championship ring at the start of the season. You've lost by 50 points on previous occasions to Toronto Wolfpack, but you've disgraced nobody today.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Stu, he gave us free rein to go out and express ourselves. Obviously, Toronto are a quality outfit, and we knew that coming into it. So Stu gave us free rein to go out and express ourselves, and I think it worked well. Yeah, it was a good performance by the team.
And to only concede 3 tries first half and then open the scoring in that second period, you must have thought at that point you were really in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with the 2 tries disallowed in the first half as well, I thought we were a bit unlucky there. But yeah, like I say, just dug deep, worked well all week defensively. Defensive process, we knew they were going to try and break us down through the middle, quick rucks. They got some big boys, so yeah, big raps to our middle there. Thought we controlled the ruck really well.
Rob, thanks very much for talking to us.
Cheers, thanks very much. Cheers.
There is John Wilkin, able to celebrate now, wanted to get the 2 points out of the way, extend that lead at the top of the championship. Good Toronto presence as well. And the man who masterminded it all, Brian McDermott, now downstairs. Brian, a satisfactory 2 points for you?
Yeah, satisfactory is a decent word. I know it wasn't the most fluent game we've ever been involved in this year, but you've got to give Swinton credit for that. They had a huge amount of fight, and I was just listening to the guy there just mentioning that they had a couple of disallowed tries, and I think we'd find ourselves fortunate those were disallowed, so that could have been a really big contest. It was enough of a contest for us to be. We needed to be good that game.
Well, Brian, it's Barry. It's been a difficult week for you and your team off the pitch. Are you happy to get back on the field and get back to winning ways?
Yeah, there's been some difficulties there, Baz. You know, and sometimes the answer is just to get out there and play. I know there's a lot of controversy about what's involved with David Argyle at the moment, and I'd just like to say that we're abiding by the RFL's investigation. We'll be compliant with everything there. And also, I just want to give David Argyle some recognition for the stand he's made. He's made a huge call this week by standing down, and again we recognise that what he said isn't acceptable. He's done that. He said that straight away, and I don't know if giving him credit's the right word, but I think we should recognise that. And the bit with Darcy Lussick at the start of the week, where Darcy was denied entry to the UK, and I just want to say I don't think our club's done anything wrong. Darcy's been in and out of the country a number of times this year, from Australia, from Canada, and from Europe, and he's never been denied entry since, and he just said the wrong thing coming through. So, you know, once again, we're going through our process, and we'll be due diligent with our end of things.
Thanks very much, Brian. Thanks for your time. Congratulations on the 2 points. Toronto Wolfpack extend their lead at the top. Dewsbury up next Saturday in the Betfred Championship. Can they extend it to 8 points, depending on results elsewhere? You can find out next week. Meantime, from Barry, myself, and all the team, it's goodbye.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Go. Go, Bobby offside. Okay, go, Bobby offside. Okay. Up to the 10. Go, Bobby offside. Okay. Activate the chain. Go. Bobby offside.